All right, let's take some guesses here. Okay, let's take some guesses on Chimaev because we've been given some pretty good clues, but our clues aren't really taking us to anything definitive. Okay, here, let's back up. Timeline. 2 weeks ago, Chimaev get announced that he's going to be fighting GM3 at the Apex. He's then going to go to Fight Island, drop back down to the welterweight class, take on Damian Maia. Great. In. Everybody liked it. I liked it. You liked it. Media liked it. Chimaev liked it. We never heard from Maia. To this day, we never heard from Maia. I am not a guy that's going to call out or challenge Damian Maia. I think that his level of courage and his level of accomplishments, in addition to the admittance that he has one final match in him and is going to walk away, I would not put it on his shoulders, if you will, to take a fight that was a fight anything less than the right fight that he won. I mean, as a guy who's never asked for anything, but boy, has he sure gone out and done a lot. We're not going to call Maia out. Let's all just kind of agree. Maybe we keep our fingers crossed, hope that comes to fruition. But then we got presented with a new clue. This was Dana coming out and saying Chimaev's next fight is going to be at the Apex. Now, that's a big deal. That's a big deal because that's a big clue. It was supposed to be on Fight Island. Fight Island is going to take place for a period of time. I want to say it's less than 30 days that they're out there. Then they return to the Apex. So now we know that Chimaev is not going to fight within the next 30 days. And it also would sound as though, by my ears and my interpretation, that it's not going to be Maia. Dana gave us another clue. He said it will be a main event. Now that changes a lot of things. A 5-round fight is completely different than a 3-round fight. And even though Chimaev has only had 4 times at bat, we've seen him on the ground and we have seen him on his feet and we have seen effectiveness in both. So we're starting to run out of questions. Well, what happens here? Well, how's he going to deal with this? Well, they're still out there. Someone's going to take Chimaev off his feet. What's he going to look like on his back? He's going to be a real flexible guy and he's doing rubber guard type stuff. Is he more of a scrambler? Gets an underhook, pop back up to his feet? I don't know. Ooh, that's why I'm saying we still have some questions. But one of those questions will also pertain to how can he do deeper and later. I hear reports from his own teammates in the gym that this guy's a conditioning machine, and you could make that a 10-round fight and he'll sign off on it right now. I hear. But I'm suggesting for you that when Dana does give us a clue, and it's all that we're left with, that it's going to be at the Apex, okay, that answered the question about Fight Island, and I think that even removed Damian Maia. When he says it's going to be a main event, he's now telling us it's going to be 5 rounds. But the final statement was it will be it will be a ranked guy at either 185 or 170 pounds. So, what does ranked mean? Now, I understand what ranked means. They put your name down, they put a little number to it. What I'm asking you is, what does ranked mean? We used to just go to 10. And now I'm seeing some rankings that are going all the way to 15. I've got no problem with it. College football goes all the way to 25. For the sake of colloquialism over here, let's look at a top 10 guy. I don't know a damn thing about why they went to 15 or who's going to brag or be happy that they broke into the top 15. I think it's got to be 10. To make believe that nobody will fight Chimaev, though, is just a step that I'm not willing to take. And I'm more than happy to sign off on this guy's skills. I'm more than happy to tell you, yeah, man, there's a bandwagon. I jumped on it as soon as he did 2 fights in 2 different weight classes spread over 8 days. And by the way, the second fight was at 15 pounds less than the first fight. I'm on board. There's something cool there for me. But if you're trying to tell me that nobody will fight him, we got some badasses left in this business. We don't have a lot of them. It's not like it used to be. It's very disappointing from that standpoint, but we still got him. Make no mistake. If you're telling me Chris Weidman wouldn't take that fight right now, then all you're telling me is you haven't called Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman takes that fight right now. You don't have to ask Coach Longo. I am telling you right now, Chris Weidman takes that fight. You're telling me Derek Brunson all of a sudden is in the business of backing down. Derek Brunson's just got brought out to fight a 22-year-old undefeated kid named Shabazian, where he was a 3-1 underdog and didn't flinch at all. Derek Brunson's not backing down. So if you're telling me the top guys aren't willing to fight him, you're telling me you haven't called Derek Brunson. And of course, RDA. RDA will jump on any grenade, any landmine. RDA will go take on a tank. I mean, I'm just offering you this as a reality. I was actually talking with Luke Rockhold earlier today. And I said, hey, by the way, man, they're saying they can't get anybody to fight this guy. This is, just you and I talking here, but what do you think? And he said, man, I just had my foot worked on. I had to do a surgery. They're putting me out 4 or 5 months. Nobody's ever offered me that fight, and they would not have to offer me it twice. Like the fight, like that guy's skills, want to see what it's all about. I'm only offering that to you because, yeah, a lot of the tough guys have left. A lot of the cowboys have packed off and ridden somewhere else for the winter. But not all of them. They are still out there. And if you want to get into the Chimaev sweepstakes, after the boss just told you it's going to be a main event, if you can get a main event fight on ESPN and you do not do whatever it takes to get there, and this is the only clue you have, that whoever Chimaev fights will be the featured match on the worldwide leader. If you do not see that as an opportunity, you don't see this as something that you should strategically go out there and try to get, even if you're a 55-pounder. If you're you're a big 55-pounder and you feel like not doing it and go meet him at 170, I'm just sharing for you. There is opportunity. There is opportunity knocking right now. I could not possibly imagine having the clues put out by Dana himself. Chimaev. Any weight class. Main event. Doesn't have anybody in the passenger seat. What are we doing here, guys? I mean, honest to goodness, what are we doing here? Perhaps you chose the wrong profession. Perhaps you did. Or perhaps you don't pay attention to the sport and you didn't know that Dana said that until I just brought it to you now. Either way, if you can be a main event, not to mention there's not a whole lot of pressure put on you. Nobody's even made it 5 minutes with this guy. I mean, in all fairness, I don't really see what you have to lose. Right now, you have an opportunity to headline a card on ESPN. Find your balls. Remember why you got in this the first place. And make a phone call to Dana.